Away and racing, and Simon Told Helen began okay. Hardstyle Rico won the start, and he's looking to cross, and cross he does. Hardstyle Rico led them clearly. Put 3 on Zipping Sullivan, then Simon Told Helen, Tommy Shelby. 3 lengths away, Tough Tears, Tick Along Talk, then Shimmer Shine, and seeing them all, Lucy's Milo, but Hardstyle Rico stretches them out, led it 4 lengths in the Melbourne Cup to Simon Told Helen, and then Tommy Shelby, but it is all Hardstyle Rico, and he is going to absolutely bolt the Melbourne Cup in. Hardstyle Rico by 5 lengths to Simon Told Helen, third Tommy Shelby, and then Tick Along Tonk, followed by Tough Tears. Well back at the end, Zipping Sullivan, Lucy's Milo, and Shimmer Shine.
Welcome to another edition of Box Rise for the Bendigo Ground Racing Association, where we promote both local racing as well as all feature races from around Victoria and interstate as well. And of course, the highlight of the week was the Melbourne Cup that was run at Sandown last week, where Hardstyle Rico raced his way into the record books and the history books, winning not just the Group 1 Melbourne Cup, the most prestigious race on the Australian calendar, but also setting a new track record at Sandown and then racing his way into retirement. No doubt the first of probably 3 or 4 retirements to come out of that wonderful edition of the Melbourne Cup last week. Over the next 6 months or so, as some of these wonderful greyhounds decide to pull the curtain down on their careers and head off to studders. Lucky Carabit Sarkis and the crew have done with Hardstyle Rico. As they said, he's got nothing more to prove. He's just broken a track record in the world's greatest race, and an outstanding race it was. An outstanding support card as well. Congratulations to the connections of Manila Knight that won the Group 1 Bold Truce. And from a Bendigo Greyhound point of view, Music Event won the the Group 3 Cup Night Sprint after breaking his maiden in the Gold Rush Carnival back in June as well. So good that our feature races still connect very quickly with group racing. So congratulations to Mick Carter and Music Event. Our local winners for the week will kick off. We had 2 pages worth again. Always have plenty of local winners from the Bendigo area, and we'll go through them now. We've got Josh Formosa with Mr. Speaker, who won at the Meadows. Jordan Formosa with Key Effort won at Bendigo. Also at Bendigo was Mick Pell with Lucky Shiraz and Robert Hayes with Firing Fernando. Our President Bob Douglas got a double at Bendigo last week with Cool Limit and Sammy McIver. Donnie Jarvis won at Bendigo with Kid James, and Peter Frost with 6 and out at Bendigo as well. Alice Peter, former guest on our previous shows, won with Zeta at Ballarat. Kransky and Empire Baz gave Mark Johnson a winning double at Shepparton. Gail Lemin scored at Shepparton with Crack and Courage. Jason Formosa on the same meeting scored with Crazy Old Fool. At Bendigo, Mark Morrissey was successful with Ashland Gem. At Healesville, Mark won with Paddy's Marvel, and David Jensen also won with Major Winston. While at Warrnambool, Aston Malmo scored for young Madison Hook. At Cranbourne, Abe Formosa took the cash with Impress Venus. Also at Cranbourne was Jai Formosa with Kinloch Journey. Aaron Di Battista was successful with Snack Attack at Shepparton. Ray Hennis with No Payer at Shepparton. Mark Johnson, another winner for the week in Northern Zone at Shepparton. Noel Masson is bound to succeed when close to the track record there at Shepparton. Helen's Memory was very impressive for Rod Clark, as was Tigger Toy for Josh Formosa, also at Shepparton. At Healesville, Aaron Di Battista scored with Visualizer, and Brian Brown with Going Viral at Horsham. And Mark Strawn, very promising sprinter, Bremer Prince, also won at Horsham as well. So as per usual, plenty of winners there for locals. And for the Bendigo Ground Racing Association news, the first highlight of the news, I suppose, is the fact that we welcome back patrons to a certain extent as of tomorrow's race meeting. So each week now there's a couple of hundred seats available. They're split up into sections as per the DHHS regulations in terms of the COVID safe return to racing. So there are 4 sections, the Bendigo Ground Racing Association being broke up on the tri booking system. There's inside chases, there's the top deck, there's the front deck, and there's also outside. We can cater up to a couple of hundred people on top of the trainers and the handlers and the essential personnel now. So if you go to try booking a couple of days before each race meeting and search Bendigo Greyhounds, you'll find the ability there to book. It's all seated, it's all ticketed, the bar will be open. We do believe the tab, fingers crossed, may be back before the end of the year, and we'll continue to serve takeaway food on that front. And while we talk about the front of the Bendigo News and returning to the track, very fingers crossed the next couple of weeks we'll be reopening the Trackside Cafe. It's had a refurbishment while we've been down during the COVID break. Peter Brown Custom Homes, along with Jared Larkin and the crew, have done a wonderful job in refurbishing the cafe, and we can see some pictures there. The Greyhounds half of the Trackside Cafe is certainly brought up to modern standards and going to produce a wonderful function venue, but not just a function venue, but a race day entertainment venue, a private facility, as well as be used on our feature race days. We're looking forward to seeing the Trackside Cafe refurbishment come to fruition in the next couple of weeks. There'll be plenty of TVs, there'll be food and beverage in there as well, and we look forward to opening that at some stage, if not in December, but certainly we return from a short break at the end of January. Feature racing for this week heads to not just Ballarat, but Simon Told Helen has gone to Dapto for the Dapto Megastar, a Group 1 race there. But in Victoria, the Ballarat Cup heats highlight the feature racing this week. And as been the case during COVID, the TAB have put up an all-in market for the Ballarat Cup. And currently the pre-post favourite for that is Short Pork, a $4 favourite, and $1.80 for the place, just ahead of Aussie Secret $8, and Do It at $8. Track record holder Pirate Pete also at $8. And then you go out to $12 for Bound to Succeed, Dr. Tucker, Gotham Dupe, Mr. Fix It, and Yozo Bale, as well as Zambora Lou. You can go to tab.com.au for the full pre-post market and all-in market there for the Ballarat Cup. As we said, 6 heats of the Ballarat Cup coming up on Saturday night. As usual, one of the form experts in Victoria is James Vandermaat. Before James headed off to some other media engagements and, of course, Sandown Ground Racing tonight, he was kind enough to give up his time this afternoon to preview the 6 heats of the Ballarat Cup. And here is that.
So Saturday night is the 6 heats of the 2020 Ballarat Cup, the first of 2 Ballarat Cups to be run in this financial year in this racing season. Only 6 heats. We'll catch up with now with James Vandermaat. James, only 6 heats, but plenty of quality in those 6 heats.
Yeah, great racing down at Ballarat this Saturday night, mate. As you say, 6 heats, but sometimes when we don't see 8 heats, we see a little bit more depth. So I scroll through these heats and they are outstanding. It's going to be a very hard race to win, despite the fact that it does clash with the Megastar. It does sort of clash with the Hobart 1000 series as well. But for those who have stayed here in Victoria, it's going to be a tough race to win.
Yeah, it's always a very good race, the Ballarat Cup, following on from the Melbourne Cup. And we go through the heats very quickly, if you like. For heat 1 of the Ballarat Cup, currently the favourite Short Pork at $2 in that heat. He's also the pre-post favourite for the final at $4. Mr. Fix It looks the main danger in that heat with Baruga Dodge, a $7 third pick. How did you see heat number 1?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting race because Swift Current's another runner with a chance. Drawn box number 2 has got explosive early speed, but I thought Short Pork was probably the best bet of the night at that Melbourne Cup meeting at Sandown last week. Led them up just to be overhauled by Music Event, but at the time, the sections, they were all outstanding. I think Short Pork's the runner to beat here, Troy. Baruga Dodge could be anything, draws the inside alley. And like you say, Mr. Fix It, $4.97 this greyhound split at Sandown 3 starts ago. If Mr. Fix It does that, he's right in calculations here. It's another tough heat to start.
Mate, heat number 2, not much splitting the market here between Aussie Secret for Jason Thompson and Gotham Duke, drawn in box number 1. Yozo Bale, the Bendigo Cup winner in box number 8, is round out third pick at $4, just ahead of Mapunga Spectre at $8.50 and Coco Nova $9. Is it numbers 1, 3 and 8?
Well, look, I think the red's clearly the best drawn, Gotham Duke, although he might want to use a little bit of the track. He's going to get room to move because Aussie Secret draws and likes to push up the track, and he's come up with 3. Mapunga Spectre's got no speed and likes to loop the field. So I can see Gotham Duke getting every chance from the inside. He's been lighting the track up in his last couple of runs, and if he can produce what he has down at Sale especially, and including that win here last time, he clearly is the runner to beat. Yozo Bale, though, however, you'd know plenty about him being the Bendigo Cup champion.
Yeah, mate, beautifully drawn, and obviously went very quick over the short course there on Wednesday night, and there's no doubt he'll be nice and hard to beat as well. Heat number 3, a very interesting heat here. We've got Pirate Pete, the up-and-coming speed machine, at $2.40 favourite, ahead of Dr. Tucker, pretty much proven at the moment these days in the way he's handled the up-in-class performances in the last couple of months at $3.60 second pick, and the former West Australian for Anthony Azzopardi, Einsteinium, at $5.50 third pick. How did you see heat number 3?
Well, look, we don't know a lot about this greyhound now joining the Anthony Azzopardi kennel. The fact he's joined the Anthony Azzopardi kennel would suggest he's got a big motor. He's won 11 of 16. He went 22.44 5 runs ago at Mandurah. They don't go a whole lot faster than that. I think Dream Wizard's probably the runner to beat. He's just been doing everything right the last couple of runs. He comes up with the inside draw. Track record holder Pirate Pete, the obvious danger as well. His win last time was outstanding, 24.70 around Ballarat. They literally do not go any faster, Troy. So, look, I thought Dream Wizard was a chance. We don't know a lot about this greyhound, Einsteinium, but Pirate Pete, I mean, his run last start was outstanding. And then I feel like I'm leaving Dr. Tucker out. He could easily win this race, and he could easily go on to win the Ballarat Cup field, the Cup final next week in that final field. It's another very, very tough race to try and sort out.
Yeah, plenty of depth in the race when a group winner like Dr. Tucker's probably sitting outside the top 3. Mate,
Yeah.
Heat number 4, Do It for Jeff Britton is the current favourite at $2.90, ahead of Zipping Sultan for Ned McDonald at $4.20. Equal second pick with the Gus Selkirk trained Hazy Roy. Another open heat number 4.
Well, I think this one here, you sort of have a look at the race and you go, well, Fortuna Bale, if you're backing each way, is probably not a bad little bet because she's just got explosive early speed. And yeah, there is a little bit of a jam up behind her. She can go a long way to winning the race. Her run last time at Warrnambool was exactly what you'd expect from her. She began well. 6:45 to the peg down there at Warrnambool is absolutely smoking. So I think she's a real cheeky chance here, Fortuna Bale. She might even be a greyhound that's suited to the Bendigo Cup. Just that 25 metres less when the whips are cracking could be the difference. But look, Dewitt's a huge contender, Zambora Lou, and Zipping Sultan for Ned McDonald. Look, you spoke of him, but this is a huge talent, Zipping Sultan. He's got no early speed, but as the race progresses, he just picks up momentum and he is so strong. So intriguing race, the fourth heat of the Ballarat Cup. But I'm going to go with Fortuna Bale, just on the each-way basis of the fact that if she leads, there's a little bit of trouble behind. I think she can go a long way to winning.
But heat number 5 is race 8 on Saturday evening, and Tinker Craig is the current favourite at $2.90 ahead of Aston Mauve, the former New South Wales sprinter from Jason Mackay, now with Ian Garland. Could have been more impressive in his Victorian return at Warrnambool at $3.60 second pick, and How Not To, another interstate sprinter for Anthony Azzopardi at $5.50 with Last Hurrah. Another very open race and very different patterns of racing in these top couple of picks.
Yeah, well, look, Last Hurrah is a Group 1 winner only 4 starts ago, and the Watchdog have marked him at $4.20. So I think that shows the strength of the race. As you said, Aston Mauve was absolutely outstanding in that first up run down at Warrnambool now with Ian Garland. Ulrich and Bale's another greyhound with a huge motor when he gets going. Early days, he recorded some ridiculous sections around the Meadows. And Tinker Craig, he's an extraordinary talent. His last run was very, very big in defeat by Gypsy Bun off the back straight. He found trouble, looked to be beaten, and yet he ground home to be beaten just a half a length. And we don't know really anything about How Not To here in Victoria. There's only won 2 out of its last 5 I'm seeing here, but 29.97 5 runs ago around Albion Park's a very good gallop. So another very tough race. Look, you'd probably lean toward the pace in the race, I feel. That could be Aston Mauve, Ulrich and Bale and Tinker Craig to come across. But if Last Hurrah can go with them early, when the whips are cracking, he's going to be mighty hard to hold out there.
If he's storming down the outside, there's no question there. In the 6th and final heat, you talk about speed. We've got Bound to Succeed at $2.30, favourite ahead of Benchester at $4.80, a recent track record holder. Rolling Stone off box number 1, $4.80, and Special Talent at $5.50. You've got a ground like Mr. Bob singing at $8. A very, very speedy heat number 6 of the Ballarat Cup.
Probably 2 of the fastest greyhounds trained out of the Bendigo region as well in this race, Bound to Succeed and also Benchester. I've really liked Benchester in his last couple of runs at the Meadows. Last start was overhauled by Japara 2 runs ago. That was a big performance behind Jarvie. The phones are ringing, so somebody's wanting to grab my attention. It's obviously another excitement about the Ballarat Cup. But, yeah, look, I think Benchester's going to be hard to beat, although Bound to Succeed, you look at his strike rate, 30 starts, 20 wins. He's barely set a paw out of place throughout his career. But then I feel like we're leaving a few out. Junk Food Junkie was excellent on Melbourne Cup night. Rolling Stone was good throughout the Melbourne Cup series for a young dog competing at that level. And then you throw in a greyhound like Run Babba Run, who can really hit the start and reel off some flying sections. But look, I've lent to Bound to Succeed Benchester. I'm just not sure there should be that much difference between them and the rest of the field in the market the way it is at the moment.
Thanks very much for your insights there, mate, on the Ballarat Cup. It should be an intriguing night's racing on Saturday night. Of course, the following Saturday night will be the final. We might catch up for this show next week as well and preview the Ballarat Cup final night. And myself and you will be there on Facebook Live on Saturday weeknight, I should say, from the Ballarat Cup. We're certainly looking forward to it. Yeah,
mate, make sure you tune into that. It will hopefully find a couple of winners. And remind me next time, Troy, make sure I keep my phone on silent, mate. But I'll chat to you later on anyway.
If it's a good tip, mate, send it through later. Thanks, mate.
And once again, we thank James for his time this afternoon. A very busy man. We know he's at Sandown this evening calling the races there. But the first of those 6 heats at Ballarat Cup heat night on Saturday night jumps at 7 minutes to 7. And if you can go to the Watchdog app, download the Watchdog app if you haven't already. If you haven't, you're crazy, really, because it's got all the information there that you need to find a winner and watch Victorian Greyhound racing and watch the races live and get all the up-to-date information and all the previews and reviews for all racing in Victoria on the Watchdog app. And I think that's the way to go as far as watching your races. As we said, 7 minutes to 7, the first of those 6 Ballarat Cup heats tomorrow. There's only 6 heats. There's plenty of depth in all those heats. There's no doubt that on Saturday weeknight, it'll be an outstanding final. And we're looking forward to covering that, myself and James, here on the Facebook Live show. Facebook and other live shows. We talk about Paul Campbell and Campbell's Comments, who does plenty of action reporting and interviewing and stuff and the like around all three codes. But in more recent times, he's also done some podcasts. And recently this week, he caught up with Ground Racing Victoria's Molly Haynes for a podcast on Campbell's Comments. And you can find the link to that podcast on our Bendigo Ground Racing Association's Facebook page, or find Campbell's Comments on Podbean for not just the Molly podcast, but all the other racing podcasts he's done with all three codes and participants. It's a wonderful service and a wonderful attribution to the racing in all three codes, particularly locally for his local participants. Best bets for Bendigo. We race tomorrow afternoon, and the best bets there, I think, is race number 8, number 1, Who Cry Now for Jenny Tor. And in race 10, I like number 8, Helen's Memory for Rod Clark. So far since Box Rise has started with 4 from 4, so hopefully we can make that 6 from 6 tomorrow, and fingers crossed. As we end another week's show and look forward to next week's racing as well, and reviewing the week that was, the run of the week last week here at the Bendigo Ground Racing Association was the Bob Douglas train Cool Limit, who broke the 28-second barrier of the 500 metres last Wednesday. And to take out the show, here is that effort from Cool Limit.
Set, ready, racing. Brian Harold a little bit slow to begin. Will settle midfield, and fast out was Cool Limit. It shot away by about 5 lengths. To in second spot was Lancashire. Railing through was Brian Harold, moves into second spot. Third now was Eunice. Start is the tearaway leader in Cool Limit. In fourth was Red Zin, and well back in the field came Lancashire. And the last at the back, we've got Just a Fidget, Colquhoun Freya, but in the straight. And this is all Cool Limit. It's won by about 12 lengths on the line.